Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, anybody? World. Let me have a look. Good. Ah, there we are. We can be heard. That's at least something. It's not laggy at all either, is it? Much smoother now. Okay. That's okay. Fair enough. And it doesn't look laggy on my screen now either, like it did last night. But it was really smooth last night. So I don't know what was going on today at all. Ah, miracle I got back at all. I had to take a bit of a break because I got a bit overheated. And how's your afternoon been, dude? Welcome in, welcome in. Yes, glass of water, absolutely. I got it out originally ages ago, and I sat down, and then the whole thing went to pot, and I realised my glass of water was over there. So maybe it was just meant to be. Good afternoon's all right. Trying to create a template in Adobe Premiere. Oh, yeah, I don't like them sort of things. They just confuse me. But then I get confused easily. So I think today's stream will just be another practice because everything's just gone out the window and I'm all a bit up in the air. So we'll just have a little bit of time, get me used to the camera again and all that thing. So the best laid plans of mice and men, I think. Could I see? And I've got to try and figure out how to mute that without putting it on the actual device. Where did you say? Oh, yeah, mute. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm hoping I muted the audio on that. I was like, where's the mute button? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on, I can't find the mute button. So I had to find it on the actual microphone. Oh, dear. I think I've got too hot and bothered now. Just like, don't know what to do. Don't know whether I'm coming or going. What's the plan for this evening? Fall apart probably. No, I've no idea. I've no idea what I'm going to do this evening. I haven't seen the squirrel today. I think I saw the squirrel on Tuesday. Yeah, at the back, foraging around. Yeah, so I haven't seen the squirrel since Tuesday, but I have seen sparrows. I've seen wood pigeons, which are quite prevalent here. Pair of crows, and there's something else, and I can't remember what it was because my brain's just not working. It's not functioning there now. Everything's gone to pot, so my brain's not functioning very well. So we'll try our best. Yeah. I haven't been out today. I haven't been out anywhere for a bajillion years. It feels like a long time. I don't generally tend to. I'm not able to get out as much as I'd like to. Just because I don't really want to go round the town, and I don't really have wildlife places that I can get to on a bus. So I'm a bit limited here, but I do have my little birds that come to the feeders, and that's quite nice to sit and just have a cup of tea and sit and watch them. And I'll do that a lot, and I make my little lists, and I make a book. But yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time I might get out a little bit, and see if I can do any bits and pieces. I might try and have a look later, see if I've got any fox footage, because I put like a wildlife camera out at my mate's garden, and they have like foxes and badgers and all kinds of things going on overnight. So I tend to do that quite a lot, because generally that is the only time you're going to know if you've got foxes or badgers in your garden, is to put a camera out. You saw a fox running past yours the other night. Yeah, they do tend to. They do tend to. Yo, Nick, how's it doing? How's you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I do tend to see foxes in the daytime a little bit. Ah, Rose, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Bit of a technical hitch earlier on, but we're back, and I think we're up and running. So thank you, Rambling Rose. I'm going to turn that off. Excuse me. Should have done that earlier, shouldn't I? But yeah, I'm hoping in a couple of weeks' time to get out a bit more and do some filming of various wildlife, depending on how much we can get out. Thank you, Rose. Much appreciated. But welcome in, welcome all. Yeah. So I just thought I'd try, but we had a bit of a technical hitch, so it's kind of set me back a bit. So today won't be quite as structured as I'd hoped for, but we'll just go with the flow, because that's how we do things around here. We just go with the flow and see where the chat takes us. But yes, I am hoping in a few weeks' time to go out to various bird reserves and see what wildlife I can see, and see if I can do any recordings and things. Thank you, bless you. It's just I'm just experimenting. I've been doing experimenting last couple of weeks, and it's only this night, today and yesterday, that I decided to keep the streams public, whereas before I was just kind of hiding them just for me. Thank you for sharing the live out. That was much appreciated. Very kind. But yeah, I have no idea what the stream is now going to be like. It might be just all kind of dull and boring and me rambling on a bit. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer them in a timely fashion. And let's keep hydrated. You watched a few of my reruns last night. Okay, cool. So how's everybody's day been so far? How's everybody's weekend been? The Rambling Rose, How are you doing today? Because I've not seen you for absolutely ages. I've not seen you for ages at all. Been good here, just been busy, yeah. Busy's all right. Sometimes, if you can be productive and, do things to get things sorted, that's all good, isn't it? I have to go and mow my lawn shortly, but wanted to say hi before I started getting everything out of the shed and got to sort dug out. Sorry I've not replied to your email yet. No problem. No problem. Thank you for dropping by. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I hope you have a good afternoon. Pick some nice weather for it anyway. At least it's dry. It is here anyway. Sweltering. Nick's been doing a car boot today. Oh, okay. Have you been selling or have you been buying? You're always here. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Absolutely. You were selling today, but normally you'd be buying. Okay, cool, cool. Yes, I've heard, Andy, that it is going to be much hotter tomorrow. Yeah. So I picked the right kind of day. I think tomorrow might be too hot. You'll catch up on your emails in the week and speak soon. Okay, cool. No problem. If no problem at all. Thank you very much for dropping by. But as I was saying earlier, take care. Catch you soon. As I was saying earlier, I haven't seen very much today, and I think it's been about 4 or 5 days since I've seen the squirrel and his pure mischief. So yes, he has been around, but not as much. He could prove me wrong, by all means. But I've been putting quite a bit of food out for the birds. The sparrows are the most regular. They come in a gang of about sort of 8 to 12. Although I have counted at one point, I did count up to about 18. So it's probably like 2 or 3 family groups kind of thing. I haven't seen starlings for a couple of months. I think I saw starlings in around about early June, and they had babies, well, juveniles. Have I had any birds try and get into my home? A couple of years ago, it was really, really hot. It's probably about 8 years ago or so, and I actually unusually left one of the smaller windows in the living room open to let some air through overnight. Now this is very unusual for me to do, and it was very, very hot that summer. And I got woken up at like 5:15 one morning, and I went, "What is that noise?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's go and explore." So I came in the living room, couldn't see anything out of place, and I kept hearing this noise, like a shuffling and a clunking kind of noise. So I opened the bay window curtains, and there was a sparrow trying to get through the window, but he couldn't figure out why it was see through, but he couldn't get through it. And I was like, okay, hold on. So I closed the curtains and I said, look, don't panic. I said, please, I'm going to try and help you, but I need to get past to go and open the larger window so you can get through. And I was like, and he saw me and he started to panic, and I was like, it's okay. And I kind of like talked to him and reassured him. And then all of a sudden, he's just going to sit there quietly. And he watched that I opened the bigger window. I opened it wide and then I moved away. And I said, there you go. And then he went out and sat in the holly bush for 5 minutes. But he couldn't have been there all that long because I'd literally been woken up with the noise. And judging by how he wasn't there that long at all. And then about 3 months later, I had the same thing happen again. A sparrow coming through the little window and then couldn't get out. So, because the bay window curtains just shut the bay window off from the rest of the room, he was just shutting the bay window, sort of thing. So yeah, I just did the same again, reassured him. He sat quietly while I just stretched sort of slowly, no sudden movements, because if you do sudden fast movements, they get panicky. So just, be calm, be tranquil, and slow in your movements, and then open the window slowly, and then move away slowly, and then they'll just go out. So I've had that happen twice, and that was about 6 years ago, I would have said. I did write about that, but yes, that is something that's happened a lot. You know, used to get birds stuck in the chimney. Yeah, we got birds stuck in the chimney when I was a kid, and I was living at home and things. We were forever getting birds stuck in the chimney. I think it was just a thing that they did back then, because sometimes they'll sit on the chimney and they're just resting, or they fall asleep, and because they fall asleep, they often fall into the hole. So that happened quite a lot when I was growing up. A lot of people I used to know would always saying how birds were in the chimney, but it happened to us a lot too. Sorry, guys, I was asleep. That's it. That's okay. You're here now. That's all that matters. Hi. Welcome in. Any vodka in? No vodka in that water at all. So I won't get Larry the longer I'm on stream. No vodka today. I've just seen a magpie come out of the holly bush, go onto the roof over there. It is a shame, yes, it is a shame. It is a shame. And I think that's a juvenile because his colours don't seem quite so solid yet. So he's got his colours, but they're sort of like when you're learning to draw and things, and sort of like kids kind of like go out of the lines. That's what this magpie reminds me of. That his colours have gone out of the lines; they're not solid enough yet. So I think that's a juvenile. Did you used to go on those school trips and they used to get you looking at those water boatmen in the pond? Ah, yes. When I was in junior school, we had a wildlife area connected to the playground, and I was forever in there watching all the water boatmen and things. We didn't really do day trips and that sort of thing, and I didn't do that sort of exploration until I moved in here, because life conspired against me. So I just, as soon as I came here, I started to explore wildlife more, which was, I've been here 17 years, and I've always been interested in wildlife. I see newts most days that I go out, so maybe about 5 or 6 times a year. Um, but again, I mean, I went to the RSPB down near me, and we found nothing under these refugia. You know, you lift the lid up and see if there's anything under there. And we went last month, and we didn't find anything. We just like lots of slugs, no beetles, but because a lot of the areas were so wet and sodden, because of the amount of rain we've had, and also they were very, very muddy. So that mud is going to create a lot of cold. So we're not finding the newts and the voles and the shrews that we used to find under those refugia. Um, and I thought, you know, maybe they should move these little planks about to give that area a chance to recover, because it's just muddy and wet. And because it's muddy and wet and cold, nothing's going to want to go under there, because usually they absorb the heat to make underneath that really nice and warm. So you get slow worms and adders and newts under those sort of things, because it's nice and warm, but it's also dry. And so when I went to the RSPB a few weeks ago, I thought, yeah, they need to move these about a bit to give the earth a chance to recover where it is and move them elsewhere. So then it encourages those animals that I've just listed into those little areas, and they've got shelter. Do I get out much to see much wildlife? Not as much as I'd like. Um, for one various thing and another that is boring. I won't go into at the moment. I don't get out half as much as I'd like to. But next year, I'm hoping that I will be able to be out a little bit more, because it's something I enjoy doing. It helps ground me and relax me and calms me right down. And I just love being in nature. So the more I can be in nature, the better it'll be. But I don't get out. I have to acknowledge that I don't get out half as much as I'd really, really like to. And half of that is due to transport. So, fishing is your chill time. Cool, cool. My dad used to have a pond in his back garden, and he used to get loads of newts and toads in there. Yeah, yeah. If you want anything, if you want to encourage wildlife, create a water source as well, because not only will you get animals drinking that water, so birds, foxes, badgers, that sort of thing. So you're creating a water source for them, but you're also creating a water source for invertebrates and insects to come in. So if you encourage the insects, then you also encourage those that eat the insects, i.e., birds and things like that. And water is a phenomenal source for life. Sorry about that. Thank you, Andy. I'm glad that mute button works because I'm like, what button do I press? I found it. I've got a friend who used to do fishing a lot, and they used to say it's such a calming and relaxing pastime. How long have I been streaming for today, or in general? Today I've done 25 minutes. I did try um, at uh, at 2 o'clock to go live, and then everything went kind of like pear shaped. So we had to stop and reevaluate and reassess, and then start a new stream. In general, I've only been streaming. This will be my fifth stream, so I've only done four, four streams in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, so I only started streaming 3 weeks ago because I'm trying to figure out ways to create. And I don't know how frequently my live streams will be, but I'm hoping they'll be quite regular, sort of once a month, maybe, certainly. Oh, well, I thought you'd been streaming for a while the way it's going. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I've only been streaming 3 weeks. I've only done 4 streams. So yeah, that's where we're at. I woke up this morning and I thought the weather wasn't going to be too bad. I thought, oh, we'll have a cool one and it'll be fine. So that will at least be okay for the live stream because, I heat up a little bit over the live stream anyway. But then the sun came out, so I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to be another warm one. But at least it's not going to be as warm as tomorrow because tomorrow is apparently going to be a scorchio, allegedly. It's going to be a scorcher, yeah, absolutely. So I told you, you need a hat. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be quite the belter. Absolutely, it's going to be scorchio. Too hot for a woolly hat, and yes, it's too hot for a woolly hat. You need a cap, like a baseball cap, something light to protect you, and put some sunscreen on that head. I've told you before. Although they do recommend that even in the winter months, when the sun's out or it's not even out, they do recommend that you put sunscreen on because of the way that the sun is affecting, you know, global warming and all that sort of thing. So even in the winter or in like the autumn months, um, you know, you can get like affected by the sun. So they always say, wear sunglasses when you can, even if you don't think it's too bright, and then put some sun cream on. Protects your skin. I like it when my skin peels. I look like Andy. That's just typical of you, isn't it? What are you like? But yes, I quite like the hot weather. I just don't like it too hot because then I just can't function. I can barely function if it's too hot. Ooh, that's a magpie just gone over. Not long until it's snowing again. Yeah. I just don't feel like we've had much of a summer. I mean, we've had a couple of kind of nice days, but they've been very few and far between. And it's been like really wet and miserable, and barely any sunshine. And then when we do get a bit of sunshine, it doesn't last for long. So yeah, it's a bit of a hodgepodge and a mishmash. And I did notice at 9:20 last night we'd lost the daylight. So that's all coming into like the winter months in dark evenings and things. I like the snow, just not keen when it's the next day and it's frozen and I slip and break my neck. Yeah, yeah, that is the problem. I like snow to look at. It's fine. It looks ever so nice and it's very pretty. But then as soon as it turns to slush, because footfall and cars and things like that, it just the slush makes it look a mess and it's not appealing. And then also you've got like this invisible ice layer on the pavements, so you have to be really really careful. I've whopped my head once or twice before. You got to go now, mate. Grandkids just turned up. Thanks for the stream. When's your next one? I'm not sure when the next one is, but keep an eye on the community tab. I might mention something there. It might not be for another month yet, but I'm not sure. I might try and put a sneaky one in the week. I'm not sure yet, but keep an eye out. Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye out. Have a good one, dude. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. Cheers, dude. So yes, I don't know when I'm going to stream next. We'll have to keep it a little bit simple and just go with the flow. Uh, Maybe it'll be Wednesday. It probably might not be Thursday. I'm not sure yet. And then I'll have a break for a few weeks. Whew. Right, well, I think that's enough excitement for me today. And I think I'm going to go and have a bit of a rest, and I'm going to go and catch, see if I can catch myself a cup of tea, get some fresh air, and maybe I'll speak to you all later. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Thank you, Andy, for your help, and thanks for joining in and supporting and everything. Thanks for Nick and everybody else who's joined throughout the stream. Much appreciated, and I will see you all soon. Catch you later.